Good morning, Titans. You're here with your host, Abigail, and today is Tuesday, December 20th, 2022. Now over to Canada in prayer.
Morning, Titans. The fourth week of Advent highlights a variety of responses to God's calls before Jesus' birth. Sunday, we heard of Joseph's response to finding out that Mary was pregnant. Poor guy, talk about a rock in a hard place. But with Gabriel's help, he gets to a yes. Yesterday's gospel was the story of Mary's cousin-in-law, Zechariah, who, when told his wife would give birth to a son in her old age, was dubious, to say the least. Zechariah was struck mute by Gabriel and couldn't utter a word until he confirmed his wife's naming of their son, John, who would soon pick up the add-on, the Baptist. Today's gospel is the Annunciation. While Mary initially has some questions for Gabriel, as a basic understanding of biology had her questioning how she could have a baby, her response is prompt. Here I am, the servant of the Lord. Let it be done as you say. How does God call us today? My guess is that for most of us, fewer archangels are around popping in to help us make good choices. If you'll be patient, I'd like to tell you the closest I have to a good God calling story, and it's been on my mind a lot lately. When I applied to be a vice principal, I had actually applied to go to an elementary school. I've been working primarily in elementary schools for a year and a half and had some tremendous administrator mentors there. I loved that they knew all of their kids by names, they were an active part of supporting their students' progress toward their learning goals, and it was a much smaller community. Color me a bit surprised when, that April, I was called into my boss's office and told that they had placed me at HT. I was in shock. My initial response was a yes, but I would be lying if I said it was a confident one. The worst part is at this stage of the process, you can't tell anyone. My parents and my husband knew, but my brother and my best friend did not, as I was not allowed to tell them, and to be honest, I didn't want them to have to lie to people for me. One weekend, in this messy middle, I had drifted off to sleep on the cozy chair in my family room. In that weird state of half awake and half asleep, I dreamt that my grandma was sitting on the couch across from me. She had passed away during the interview process for the job, but has always been my greatest cheerleader. In my dream, I looked at her and I told her that I had been placed at Trinity. Dream Grandma looked at me very matter-of-factly and said, I know, we put you there. I woke up. It was weird. But for those first few years, that moment left me with a real sense of purpose here, that God had called me to serve at HT, and someone here needed just what I had to offer. But here's the thing. All those biblical yeses, and mine too, really, are not one-shot deals. Mary didn't say yes to carrying Jesus and then abandon him in that stable. Joseph didn't okay raising the Son of God as his own and then leave Jesus and Mary in Bethlehem for Herod's soldiers. They had to say yes when Jesus bolted away on a family trip and hung back to preach in the temple at like 10. Mary had to say yes when she sat at the foot of her son's cross. Yeses means good times, but they also mean bad. Some days we want to control the narrative of our life. On bad days, it's easy for me to say to God, okay, I'm here, I've done what you wanted me to do, I'm out, and start trying to maneuver my way to a different yes. Or worse, to assume that God didn't know what he was doing and that whatever he called me to do, I am not enough to manage. If this last week has taught me nothing, it's that tomorrow is never a guarantee, and trying to negotiate my yes just starves me of joy today. Titans, please join me in prayer that we may listen closely, hear God's call, and say yes, today and when the going gets tough. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Father, give me a heart like Mary's, willing to agree with your word, your promises, and your intent for my life. With Mary, there was no negotiating, no hemming or hawing, no I need 24 hours to think about it, no keeping her options open. You simply spoke, and she unhesitatingly responded with a yes. You have an intent for me. That purpose will have its challenges, its high points and its lows, its joys and its sorrows, but your plan is far and above the best plan for my short life. May my soul be transformed into one that listens for your call, follows your lead, and believes your word, even when I can't fully comprehend it. For your word is my truth. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Good luck today to our girls volleyball team and boys basketball teams. CAF specials today are Mexican fries, pizza, and garlic bread. That's all from me, Titans. Now over to myself. Hi, I'm Abigail from Student Council. I'm here to punch the tree. Okay, the prize is pizza party for a class, and it is for room Mr. Morrison.